Joining me now is host of Prime Time with Alex Stein from Blaze Television is our favourite Texan, Alex Stein. Let's talk about former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. He must be feeling a bit smug today. He predicted what's happened today. Early as April 2023, he was on the record saying Joe Biden will not be the Democrat nominee for president.
There's a myth that President Biden's running for president. I think they just put a brain-dead, hollowed-out husk of a human being in the White House because that's more convenient for them. The risk is a thinking person could change their mind. They don't want somebody who could change their mind. They want Joe Biden.
Mark my words. Joe Biden will not be the nominee for the Democratic Party.
We know he's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the managerial class. Step up and be honest about who you're actually going to put up so we can have an honest debate. Biden should step aside so we can see whether it's Newsom or Michelle Obama or whoever else.
All right,
just tell us the truth so we can have an honest debate.
In an interview after that infamous debate, he told Fox News he wasn't surprised that Democrats were panicking and again restated his view that Biden will be booted out.
I spoke to you pre-debate, and you told me Biden would not be the nominee. You've been saying it over and over and over. Post-debate, I suspect you still believe that, but tell me how it plays out.
Look, I think that the reality is the managerial class around Biden has lost their use for him. This has been obvious to me since last year. Play out the incentives. He is not the strongest candidate they can put up. And these people, they have stopped at nothing to keep Donald J. Trump out of office.
Alex, Vivek, I don't know, he's got some sort of Nostradamus-like abilities because a lot of people may have thought that, but he put his reputation on the line, said it on the record publicly. Tell me what you make of today's momentous news.
Well, it's a huge day in American politics, having a sitting president saying that he's going to, withdraw from his campaign while still being the president. So it kind of shows you that if he's not capable to even run a campaign, he's definitely not capable to be the president. But, Vivek is not so much clairvoyant as much as he is honest. Anybody that's actually been paying attention knows that Joe Biden has been a walking, talking potato for the past 4 years. And Vivek is obviously 100% correct, but it's because he's so dialed in and he's paying attention. And that's the problem here in America, Rita, is that nobody's paying attention. And now I think people will. I think people are going to start paying attention. And that's why they did this as a last ditch effort, because they knew that Joe Biden's not popular enough to even be close to Donald Trump after Donald Trump put his fist in the air and, defeated a terrorist attack. So now this is their Hail Mary last-ditch effort to try to put a woman in. And I wouldn't be surprised if Michelle Obama or, Pete Buttigieg, the first gay vice president, it's going to be something like that, in my opinion.
Well, how do you think the American public will react? I mean, I'm sure they're going to have a boost, the Democrats. They're going to have some sort of a honeymoon period. The media is going to be on side, and they're already trying to rewrite Kamala's backstory, painting her as some sort of inspirational figure who's going to bring the country together. Is it going to work? We've seen them fortify an election in the past. Could they pull it off again?
Rita, I want to be like Vivek, and I want to be honest. Even people on the left, I feel, are a little misogynistic. And I know that sounds crazy, but I do believe people even on the left are not going to want a woman president. I don't think people mind having a woman vice president, but I think, a lot of gay men are. What is that crazy to say that? A lot of people are not going to want a female president. It's like one of the reasons why.
Crazy.
Well, but Hillary Clinton that's the reason why I think. Well, what? That I think that people don't want a female president?
So unlikable. Yeah, I think if they put up a female who was actually accomplished and likable and electable, she would have won. But they put up Hillary and now they've got Kamala. It's like they're determined to make the female presidential candidates fail.
Well, they have to kind of cheat, She's going to be the president by default because of all of Joe Biden's work. Listen, you're right. If a woman was capable, she could be president.
Pakistan's elected a woman. They elected a woman decades ago in the UK as leader. I'm sure Americans are ready, but for the right woman. They're not just going to vote for anybody. On Vivek Ramaswamy, I think he would be absolutely a crucial person to have in a Trump White House, to have someone there with his judgment, looking out for the president, giving him advice. Do you see that happening? Or is there a rift between him and the Trump camp?
Oh, not any rift whatsoever. You could just see Eric Trump was talking about how he's actually disappointed that he's not going to see Vivek debating against Kamala Harris or Kamala Harris's future vice president candidate, whoever that would be. So, no, I think the Trump campaign loves Vivek. You know, he has a lot of libertarian policies. Donald Trump said he wants to put a libertarian in his cabinet. So I think Vivek Ramaswamy, being such an eloquent speaker, being so professional, being successful, and his connection with J.D. Vance, I think there's no doubt in my mind that he will have a spot in the Donald Trump cabinet of 2024.
I think he would be an enormous asset. And he talked about what an eloquent speaker he is. I think he gave one of the very best speeches at the Republican National Convention. Let's have a quick look.
Because you know what? Fear has been infectious in this country, but courage can be contagious too. That too is what it means to be an American. And you know what? If you're at home and you disagree with everything I just said, our message to you is this: we will still defend to the death your right to say it, because that is who we are as Americans.
The reception he got was absolutely fantastic, but then he was harassed by you. Out on the street, he was on the phone trying to, I don't know, close some important deal, and this happened.
Literally in the middle of something. Find me later.
Well,
I know JD.
I know, but then he named his son Vivek after you. What do you think about that?
Come on.
You don't think he named it after you?
We've been good friends for a long time.
But
we've
so
been
you're
good
saying
friends.
that it's not named after you?
You ask him, man. You ask
But
him.
y'all were friends in law school, though, right?
We were good buds for a long time.
So it's named after you.
I'm trying to do something, brother.
Just
I
1
love you,
second.
brother.
Alex, you're just a trouble. Tell us about that encounter. Did you end up catching up with him later and getting some straight answers? And are you suggesting that the future Vice President, J.D. Vance, named his son after Vivek?
This is breaking Sky News Australia exclusive news. If people don't realize that J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy were law school buddies, also with J.D. Vance's wife.
Yes.
They were very good friends. And I know Vivek is a popular Indian name, but Vivek Ramaswamy is a popular guy. I would have no shame in naming my son after Vivek Ramaswamy, especially considering, you know, it's a culturally significant name. So I just was bringing that up because I thought it was kind of a funny story that not enough people were talking about, that the two people that were basically the front runners for the vice president, the vice presidency for Donald Trump, are so connected that one of their sons is named after him. So it was kind of a funny bit, but now this video is going viral. So, you know, we broke it here on Sky News that J.D. Vance named his third son or his third child after Vivek Ramaswamy.
It is. The party unity cannot be denied. But what do you make of the reactions we have seen in the past week to the Republican National Convention, to the shooting? Now it's been a good week since that attempted assassination. Some of the commentary from the US media has been unhinged. We're talking about people who are anchors on major networks like MSNBC saying the most insane stuff on air. And no wonder a third of Democrats, a third of Democrats seem to think that the entire assassination attempt was some sort of a plot engineered by Donald Trump.
You know, during COVID, they called all the right-wingers conspiracy theorists. Now everybody on the left is a conspiracy theorist. So, you know, it's kind of just the kettle calling the pot black, or whatever the saying is. It seems very hypocritical. But, you know, the worst and most repugnant thing is not only did MSNBC use a fake backdrop because they didn't have the courage to actually go to the RNC, but then Whoopi Goldberg had the audacity to basically attack Kai Trump, 17-year-old granddaughter, to President Trump. So these people are sick. They'll go after anything. They'll go after a kid speaking on the biggest stage in the world, how stressful that would be. And to even say something negative about that just shows you how repugnant their personalities really are and it's not all lefties, but the ones in the mainstream media, they seem to all have a pattern of just insane rhetoric that is just unfair in my personal opinion.
Oh, look, I absolutely agree with you. I thought Whoopi's comments were just deplorable to have a go at Kai, who's a child, to say that she was trying to humanise her grandfather as if that's a bad thing or as if that's something that is false. And that was her objection to that speech. And then you had Joy Behar having a go at Trump for saying that he feels that God protected him, saying that that's an anti-Christian thing to say. That's a narcissistic thing to say. Christians don't talk that way, as if she would have any clue how Christians talk. Now, let's get back to you and your antics, because you also made a cameo on Piers Morgan's Uncensored last week. I don't think you were invited on the program. You just did this.
Government. Sank is transgender. Sank is transgender.
Government.
No, I'm not. I don't know.
Hey, get out of here, man. What the hell? Jesus Christ with these lunatic Republicans.
Oh, that was fun. He didn't react too well. Tell me what happened after that little incident.
No, Sank was very frustrated. And, you know, he'd actually spoken not so highly of me, but he did like that I go to public meetings and confront politicians, even though him and I aren't politically aligned. But the point I was just trying to make is that at that exact time I was looking and watching the interview, he was over there being sympathetic to the assassin that tried to kill President Trump. So I have to go there and interact or interrupt it because I just didn't like his rhetoric. And yeah, I know that probably crossed the line, but this is Sank. This is a guy that said at one point he was bestiality should be legal. He did say this. So, you know, he's a very unusual guy. Yes, he did. Rita, look it up. Yes, he said as long as the animal is not getting abused.
I don't want to, Alex.
Look it up. It's real. I couldn't believe it. It's the most insane thing. I should have brought that up, but after the fact, it went viral. That video got millions of views, and other people are tweeting the video of him saying bestiality should be legal. Don't believe me. Go do the research yourself. But this guy is a weirdo, and I do applaud him for having the courage to go to the RNC. But Sank is he's a
lefty. What can we can't, it's incurable with some of these people. Some of them can be saved. Some, it's incurable. Alex Stein, we love your work. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
And let me say this, Rita, a woman can be president. I just don't think Kamala Harris is. People will be misogynistic towards her specifically. I'd like to correct the record. Thank you for correcting me as well. And I missed you, Rita. Thank you for having me.
I've missed you too. Okay, good night.